Hey, it's Christine back. Another week, another video on our show host series. I'm going to continue on the theme that we've been talking about this year, how to think really smartly about getting in front of existing audiences and collabing with bigger brands or platforms, organizations that can put the money and the marketing and the attention behind you to let your skill shine forth. And be the talent and be the show host. Because in this series on our YouTube channel, we're talking about how to be an awesome show host. If you're looking for production advice or strategy, check out our Think Like a Producer playlist. That's all the podcast episodes. There's like 50 of them covering frequently asked questions about production. And obviously we have great shorts. But this series, this video, we're talking about show host tips. And we started this last year because our clients are show hosts. And we're seeing such big changes in the landscape of podcasting and seeing opportunities changing for podcast show hosts. And so that's why I hopped in and was like, let me help you get really clear about how to put your best foot forward and how to make great shows and kind of understand what's going on right now. So this week, beginning of February 2024, some cool new things happened in podcasting technology in the last month. YouTube turned on audio only podcast integration, which is just a very convenient feature everyone wanted for a long time. Apple Podcast added in automatic transcripts so people can read along the transcript right in the Apple Podcast app while they're listening to the show. There were endless announcements that have been going on for months and months and months about shows changing networks, and Spotify kind of is finishing off their year of exclusivity with only letting their in-house shows be on Spotify. Now you can listen to them on all the apps. So there's just kind of continuous, constant announcements and evolutions in the big world of podcasting, how podcasts are made, where they get distributed, what networks are signing who. And I want you to just think as a show host and be really clear with yourself as you're reading the news or maybe just watching this video being like, oh, there's news in podcasting. I just want you to get really clear about why you want to be a podcast host, because nothing will serve you more in your journey to success and having an amazing show than understanding why you want to do it. And that might have changed from the first time you got into podcasting till now, which is awesome and normal because you're a human and you're evolving. But I really want you to take a chance just right now, today, while you're watching this video, and think through why do I want to be a podcast show host? Because the opportunities that are kind of shifting and opening up for media talent, which is what we call in the industry a podcast show host, you would be considered the talent in the crew of production people. There is a really important moment where a podcast show host needs to understand why they're doing the show. Because if you're going to pitch yourself to a brand to collaborate with, if you're trying to pitch yourself to a network, if you're trying to get sponsors, if you're trying to get audiences to listen to you, if you're trying to get featured on a really cool stage at an amazing event, no matter what you are trying to go for as far as opportunities for your show or for yourself, the biggest question that you will need to have a very clear answer to is, why are you being a podcast host? What do you love about the medium? What kind of impact do you want to make? Who do you want to talk to? What kind of stories do you want to tell or information do you want to share? And it's easy to get a little lost with that if you've been doing it for a while. And that's why I'm kind of giving you an invitation just in this short video today to be with yourself. Maybe you're brand new to podcasting. Maybe you've been at it for a while. But I want you to check back in, because the rapidity of changes in the industry is so fast right now. Literally every week something is changing, and it can get easy to either be overwhelmed and tune out, or to just focus on what used to be and be like, well, I've seen all my friends do this for years and that's what I want to do. Well, those opportunities might not exist anymore, not because you missed your window, but because they've evolved so much, and it just doesn't even make sense to make a show that way anymore, because now we're over here doing it this way and these are the opportunities. And so that's why I'm encouraging you in this video to just ask yourself, see what comes up. It doesn't have to be a dramatic, long process. Just, why do I want to be a show host? And if the first answer is, I don't know, that's a great moment to take pause and be like, what do I want to do? Like, how do I want to share my talents or my time or my energy or my message? And maybe the answer is I want to impact more people with the work that I do. And it's easier to, kind of distribute it through this one-ended channel or one-way channel. Okay, dig a little deeper. Once you've answered that question, go to the next. Like, why do I want to impact more people with the work that I do? Okay, whatever the answer is to that, maybe ask yourself a third time, like, well, why that? The reason I'm encouraging you to kind of do this extra level of existential questioning on why you want to be a podcast host is because if you get really clear on why, and I'm not trying to get you all worked up into like a spiral of questioning everything. I just know how valuable it is. No matter who I'm talking to, a producer, a show host, a brand, a company, a network, a studio, a production house, an event planner, like across the board, if I am talking to someone about a show host, the thing they're going to want to know is like, well, why? Why do they do what they do? Like, what are they passionate about? Why are they being a podcast host? And that's where all the best opportunities and conversations can come from. Because if you know your why around podcasting and then you match up with a brand that has a very similar why or a complementary why, that's where the magic can happen. And that's where like amazing deals can come from. And that's where awesome collaborations and really cool projects usually come to life, where the why of the talent matches the why of the platform or the brand or the network or the production, like, all the players involved. So let's just go through this list one more time if you're still working on it. Why do you want to be a podcast host? Do you want a lot of attention? Do you just want to kind of become media famous for, longer term reasons? Okay. Why do you want to become famous? Like, let's dig to the next level, right? Like, what is your end goal with being famous? Is it to get certain opportunities, or is it to get certain visibility on a cause you care about? Like, what's that about? Maybe you want to be a podcast host because you realize you just absolutely love exploring people through conversation and you light up and feel alive when you're in that moment. Okay, cool. Let's go a level deeper. Like, why do you come alive and light up and feel your purpose when you're having amazing conversations with people? Maybe you love being a podcast host and you want to because you realize that there is a big gap in your niche space. There's a bunch of misinformation or ignorance or pain, or there's just a need for you. Like, you have answers to questions people have, and you realize, like, I can give this information via a podcast. Okay, cool. Why do you need to give that information via a podcast? Like, what is behind that? This little process that really you could do within 5 minutes will help so much as the year unfolds, because the opportunities that are going to be popping up and the way things are changing, the decisions you're going to need to make around like how we make a show, or why, we're spending this money here, or hiring this company, or going after this brand, or trying to get featured on this platform, all those questions will become much easier to answer, like the how and the what next, if you understand the why. And hopefully this video and this invitation will be efficient and productive. The intention of this was not to like get you into like a deep process, which is great. Maybe you're doing deep process work at the start of the year. Good for you. Go for it. But I talk to so many show hosts and producers and people in the industry every day. And we, have a certain lens on what's going on because this is our work. This is what we do. We're deep in it. But we notice when a show host understands why they want to be a show host. Like, we immediately take note and we're like, oh, that's somebody I can work with. Versus when we're talking to someone who's awesome and enthusiastic and excited about podcasting, but they don't really know why. Like, they just kind of been inspired by something they've seen, or maybe they've, seen a gap and they're like, I don't know, this just seems cool. That's a great place to start. But if you really want to get serious about cool opportunities and building a show that reaches the audience you're here to serve, I would really get clear on your why. And then you're in a great position to pitch yourself, to make good decisions, to build powerful collaborations. So it's a bit of a abstract show today simply because I'm seeing this come up again and again and again in conversations I'm having lately, and I wanted to offer that to you so that you can kind of do that quick work and be ready for when your next great opportunity comes. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you haven't. We're dropping weekly videos in our show host series specifically for you to navigate the best opportunities. And if you have questions, just leave them in the comments and we'll reply.